Now, before we dive into the competition proper, we are privileged to have today Mr. Jeremy Lee, who started as an intern and teaching assistant with the Public Speaking Academy. And now he's held full classes for us on public speaking. So for his keynote today, Mr. Jeremy will share his journey of inspiration and resilience. So let us put our hands together for Mr. Jeremy to come on stage for his keynote address.
Dear finalists and judges, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to everyone. I'm extremely honored and happy to be invited by Darren Day, the founder and master trainer of Public Speaking Academy, as the keynote speaker for the National Public Speaking Competition 2022 Grand Finals. I would like to first congratulate all finalists for making it thus far. Regardless of the outcome, each one of you should be proud of yourself for making such a great accomplishment this young. At your age, speaking in front of a large crowd was my biggest fear. Even so, on a peer-to-peer level, I didn't even dare to maintain eye contact. However, after years of stepping out of my comfort zone, I find myself now able to handle public speaking more confidently. Part of the reason why I lacked confidence back then was because of an ordeal, which came as a surprise to my family and I. This all happened at the age of 11. I remember I was preparing for my end-of-year examinations, and that was when I started falling seriously ill. Some of the symptoms I experienced were hand bruising, nose bleeding, black stools, and high fever. My parents were worried, so we went to our local GP for a checkup and did a blood test. Little did we know that the results would spell something serious, and I had to be transferred to KK Hospital to run more diagnostic tests. Before we knew it, I was quickly settled into an inpatient ward, and over the next 3 days, I was examined by doctors from various departments. Alas, my case was referred to the head of oncology's department, Professor Tanamoy, who did a bone marrow aspiration test to see if I did indeed have leukemia. Truly enough, I was diagnosed with it. What started off as a mere assumption of an ordinary fever, when a cancer diagnosis came back positive, I felt my life was no longer mine to hold. I was particularly scared of needles. There was one treatment which stood out from the rest, one of which was called the lumbar puncture, which requires a doctor to do an injection with a needle of 5 inches long into my lower back, so that chemo drugs can be administered into my cerebrospinal fluid to kill cancer cells. I also went through 2 surgeries to plant and remove a podocath. This device is used to draw blood and give treatments, including intravenous fluids, blood transfusions, or drugs such as chemotherapy and antibiotics. Those experiences had made me a stronger person by overcoming my fears for needles. Despite the difficulties, there were many wonderful social workers from Children's Cancer Foundation and doctors like Professor Tanamoy, friends, and family members, especially my mom, who is my strong pillar of support during my treatment. 1 year into my chemotherapy, I returned to school. Besides battling with illness and juggling my studies, I also had to deal with the constant bullying due to my butak head from chemotherapy. I had no choice but to push on. Surprisingly, the entire episode influenced me quite positively. For someone who had been a happy-go-lucky student who prioritized instant gratification, missing out on school during chemotherapy made me realize the importance of education. Recovery gave me a second chance at life that not everyone gets twice. I made changes in my attitude towards studying and putting more effort and focus. Hence, cancer proved a turnaround for me academically, and I am now an engaged learner, achieving better results as compared to my earlier years. Cancer heightened my awareness of the difficulties others go through, especially invisible struggles. During my treatment, I learned so much from other patients through their sharing, and it has actually taught me humility. I know there are times when things don't always go according to plan, but we need to accept that with grace. Unlike the old Jeremy, who was the center of his own world, I find myself now willing to sit down and listen to others, encouraging and motivating them. This change has enabled me to relate well with my fellow peers by listening to alternative perspectives and mediating conflicts to find common resolutions, which no longer proves a struggle. Hence, my experience has only made me stronger, and through sharing my story of growth and self-actualization with others, I hope to empower others to strive for their best potential and contribute good to the world in any way they can. It made me truly understand the meaning of the quote by Winston Churchill, who once said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy, for that sharing. Fantastic. It's truly an inspirational story for all of us. I'm certain that the sharing will inspire all our young competitors today. And there's a lot of takeaways that we can actually extract for the session. I know most of you young speakers here are nervous or anxious about your journey. You guys went through a lot of training, a lot of practice, and a lot of ordeals just to get through to where you guys are today. And truly, as what Jeremy has shared, the journey is not final until you give up. Because there's going to be a lot of roadblocks, a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges you're going to overcome to become a better speaker. And the journey to becoming a speaker is not a journey with an end goal. It's a continuous journey of development. It's never a final destination that you're working towards, but a journey of becoming, engaging that habit to become a good speaker, a journey of gaining that habit to continuously improve yourself. So thanks again, Jeremy, for sharing all of that. A lot of us to take away.